He works away from the game, so when the game starts, he's ready.
Can you empathize with a kid like Ville, though, where he's been asked to be patient for a fair stretch of time with this organization?
But the team's playing really well right now, and so power plays won us the last couple of games. He'll get his chance. Yep.
Rick, I know you're not a doctor, but can you kind of take us through the progression? Like the original hope was Nikolai would just be 7 to 10 days. So how did we kind of get from there to here?
Well, it was I told you, after 7 to 10 days, it felt like progress was being made. It was slower progress, there's no question, but we didn't push it. We gave it a little extra time, hoping we were trying to avoid this. So we gave him as much time as we could. Then there comes a point. Okay, there's something a little more than we can find right now. So it came to this. But we didn't want to rush into it. We wanted to give it a chance to see if it would heal naturally.
And I take it you can probably talk a little more about this now. But the skate the other day obviously didn't go that well for us to now be here.
No, he felt something. Well, so we were trying to get him to the point where, at least when we know he didn't feel anything, we couldn't get him to that point. So that brings us to that decision, yes.
Recognizing you can't put a timeline on it, I mean, is the hope that you will have him back at some point this season?
Yes. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. And then just kind of bigger picture, but that's 3 top 9 forwards that you guys are out long term now. Mason, maybe 3 months. Morgan's obviously out for a while. How do you weather that? You're 10-4-1, but can you just kind of weather this?
Well, yes, we can. What we've done since the last, whatever game, we've tightened it up defensively, and that's going to keep us in the games. The guys that have stepped in and played those roles have done an exceptional job. We need that. As you mentioned, they're top 9. They're not easy to replace. Are we missing them? Absolutely, we're missing them. It changes all the formations of the lines, and it changes roles. And sometimes when that happens, you're putting in a guy in a role that normally he wouldn't be in. That's what happens. So give the forwards a lot of credit, because all the guys that we've asked to adjust their role, their minutes, and even the guys that they're playing with normally, they've all done a good job. But it goes back to where we need to play that team defense to keep us in the games, which we've cleaned up a lot over the last 10 games.
And sorry, just before I forget, was there a specific incident in that Dallas game that caused the injury, or is this?
He said he felt something, then he tried to play through it, and he pulled himself out the next night. Now, obviously, I wasn't there.
You have Morgan Barron out a month still. Mason's 2 to 3 months. Ehlers, we don't know, but I'm guessing at least a month, if not longer. At what point, you talk about adjusting and all that, but at what point do you look to, maybe look to the Moose to find, like an actual, perhaps like a guy that'll stay in the lineup for a while at a specific spot, or is it just about adjusting now?
We brought a couple of guys up from the Moose, and it's game to game, and that's what it is right now. And what we need from the guys that we make those adjustments game to game.
I don't know how you would have conversations with Kevin about potentially bringing somebody in at this point, given all of the injuries.
We have conversations. That's management's call, not mine.
Would you like somebody to? Some help?
That's management's call, not mine. I coach the players that are here. That's all. That's my job, is to coach what we have. I'll leave it at that.
Assuming Ville stays up, would you want him to get him into a game? I would imagine that's kind of been your thing. If a guy's up here, you try and find a way to get him into a game, and that's so he's not sitting that long. Because I'd imagine for him, it's about development still.
If the longer he's here, it'll improve his chances of. It'll depend on Dylan, right?
Rick, just back to the game tonight, in the video preparation for Pittsburgh, at least statistically it kind of looks like there's been some peaks and valleys. What are you seeing from the Penguins as you prepare for this game?
They're back to playing the way the Pittsburgh Penguins have been successful since Sully went in there. They're playing hard and they're playing fast. And I know they had a bit. They were off there. I think they lost 5 or 6 in a row. But you forget about all of that because right now this is the best I've seen the team play all year, and they're back to playing the way Sully wants them to play. And they're healthy. They got the guys back in the lineup, which is huge for them, right? They were missing some guys earlier in the year as well. But this is the Pittsburgh Penguins teams that I've coached against for a long time, and give Sully and his staff a lot of credit because they got that thing turned around, and they're playing hard, and they've got some elite players.
Speaking of elite players, and I know that that they run deeper than number 87, but when you're matched up against a generational player like him, what's your mindset, Rick? Do you still just roll the lines and that sort of thing, or do you have specifics that you apply to a player of that category?
Yeah, well, it's on-ice awareness by everyone who's on the ice. There's certain game situations that we can't control. We ice the puck. We can't control matchups. They can. So do we have an idea of what we're doing going into the game? Absolutely. But again, with line changes, and if there's a lot of the flow to the game and all of a sudden he's thrown out there and and it's not a face-off situations, you're asking your players on ice awareness of, okay, he's on the ice, let's get on top of him as quick as we can so he can't get going. Much the same as we try to play against every elite player in this league. When they get the puck, the closest guy, get above him. Try to discourage the puck from coming to him and try to slow him down. Good. Thank you.